1, 2, 3. Check, check. This is Liz on court 1. Check 1, check 2. Check, check, check. Hello? A, B, C, D. Check, check. This is headset 2. Check, check 1, check 2. Check, check, check. Just checking headset 2 on court 1. This is Liz.
welcome to the Under Championship in Melbourne 2025. This is the live stream coming to you from the State Netball Centre here in Parkville. My name is Dan Cook. Joining me is Mike. How are you doing this morning, Mike?
Doing very well, thanks, Cookie. It's a pleasure to be with you as we get this 20 and under competition underway. South Australia and Victoria. This one threatens to be a pretty good game between the two sides. Both these sides have played already this the tournament, and Victoria coming away with a 2-goal win.
South Australia did.
Oh, sorry, South Australia, yes. Looking at the wrong side of my notes. So, South Australia with a huge 2-goal win, which was fantastic to see.
Yeah, how exciting is it for the under-20s competition to have multiple states in the running for the championship this year? And look, for me, I watched some of the game back. The Opens game was on at the same time, and I was up in the stands at a little function for that one, but I watched the game back, and wow, was it impressive. SA off to a really quick start in that one. Victoria kind of drawing them back at the end of the first quarter, and it pretty much was no more than 2 or 3 goals in it. What I might do is hand over to you to go through both starting lineups while we're here, and then we can get into the action further.
Well, we got Cruz Wilson and Ryan Norfolk in goals for South Australia. Reid Callaghan with the finishing off the front three there for the South Australian side. Lucas Gullen in the middle. Willow Callaghan in wing defence. Tyler Ward and Caleb Playford in defence for South Australia, while for Victoria it's Campbell Brown and Nicholas O'Meara in attack. Ollie Ryan in wing attack. Aiden Conhetti in the centre. Oscar Hughes wing defence. Jonty Strickland and Kane Wilson playing defence.
Yeah, look, really interesting to see how both coaches are going to take this one. Are they looking for the win? Are they looking to run their players and rest them? It is a big week for the under-20s. There's 10 matches for them to play during the week, and it's a little bit, nationals can sometimes be about, is it list management, or is it trying to get yourself the best spot into getting into the finals? I'm interested to see how both coaches are going to take this one on today.
Well, looking at the early start from both teams, it's no love lost. It's a 2-all start. Dix with an opportunity through O'Meara. He gets that one to go. So pretty handy squads, both these sides. I'm already liking the look of some shoes out there, which has been great to see throughout the week. The changes in uniform. It's a nice little step back. Doesn't go though, and the rebound going Victoria's way. There's a contact call on Shooter. Hughes working way through Strickland in the straight down the middle to find O'Meara. I must say, really good look from Victoria. Can they bring it in? No, they can't. It's going to be South Australia's ball from the side, from the end. As they're working their way down, the speed over the ball is unbelievable at the moment. As possession going the way of South Australia there. They're working their way through. Great work by Wilson, coming out hunting, trying to get the ball here, reset and try and get this in a nice sort of mid-range shot. Falls short, but gets the rebound. Strickland will stand next to him. And Wilson again can't get that possession going the way of Victoria. Or a contact call at least anyway. Wilson strong on the boards, early days.
Victoria now in possession, looking to probably bring the ball down nice and quick. Was impressed by what I saw out of Ryan in wing attack yesterday. Bit of a switch up, haven't seen the 2 goalers play in this one, so interesting to see the way that Craig Moore has decided to line up for this one today. But O'Meara, arm up and throw in. Great defensive pressure from South Australia. Now, I won't lie, I have a little bit of a soft spot for SA. Grew up playing in South Australia myself. Moved over to Victoria when I was just a young bud at 20 years of age. Really interested to see how both of these teams now get on with it. The future of netball in Australia looks fantastic.
I won't hold that against you, okay? No. If you started over there.
Well, I'm lucky my brother still plays in the South Australian M League competition, so love to kind of still keep up with it and watching it every time that I probably can via the online feed. So I'm really interested to see the future of how it goes. Look, to be honest, I'm really impressed with what South Australia's youngsters have going for them at the moment. Their introduction into their M-League system. It's only bringing them up, and you can see it in the results that they've been having in the juniors the past few years. So.
And just having a look at the results they've had over the tournament thus far, like only losing to Western Australia by 10 goals, but to be 4-1 after 5 matches and sitting second on the table with Western Australia above you, and obviously this is obviously no bigger rivalry, is it, between South Australia and Victoria?
Look, I think everyone wants to play against Victoria and just to beat them. That's my memory of moving here, is that everyone wanted to beat Victoria.
And that's not just because this is their home tournament too.
No. Right, now, great lead off the centre pass. Double plays down into the pocket and finds Nick O'Meara, who's sitting in the circle but playing in a goal attack. Contact call there and puts that one through for Victoria. Victoria off to a faster start in this one, now up 6-3.
What would they have taken out? They would have taken that fast start out of that first game on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, look, I think sometimes nerves play a big part in what happens in that first game of nationals. You could go either way. You either get to a flyer, and it could have been like just the fact that South Australia got off to a flyer and scored their couple of first turnovers.
Yep. Or
were Victoria overtly nervous? Look, I don't know that you can necessarily tell. It could have gone either way. But the game came back, and then all of a sudden it's running, 1, 2, 3 goals throughout the end of the first quarter, all the way through to the end. It's just extremely exciting to see how close the competition is and how much these two teams look, I'm hoping for a really good run today.
Well, I reckon we're getting that at the moment. It's 7-4 at the moment, but they're going to advance the penalty here by the look of it, and it's going to be midway through centre court.
Ryan now in possession. A call there against Gullen. Playford now out of play on the outside of the circle, and the two tools in there setting themselves up. O'Meara takes that one and puts the ball through the ring for Victoria. 8-4. Midway through the first half, I think South Australia will be a little disappointed with the start, and looks like Hughes just told to take something out of his ear.
Yeah, right.
Kennedy finds Brown in there, and just the overhook pass into O'Meara. Now South Australia really needing to put this one on the board. It looks like a change is coming in the goalkeeper place for South Australia. Wilson now in possession. Confusing for us today, Wilson on Wilson.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help, although you just call Wilson and see how it goes. As that change has happened, Bergen comes in at goalkeeper, Lachlan Bergen. He's going to get his first touch here. Playford takes a seat there. So Bergen trying to get this one out of the defensive third. Can they work it forward? They can nicely. O'Callaghan. Great speed there from Gulen. South Australia working their way around Circle's edge. Gulen trying to find a feed in there. Does just that. Finds Norfolk. Norfolk with a nice little step back that he has.
I love that from a goaler. That was one of my favourite moves, just to sit back on that one and put the ball through the ring. I'm really impressed with what it is that Norfolk has to bring to the court. I think he's so smart. Delivers ball, looks forward to the post. You can't teach that in a young netballer.
This ball flicked back. They can't hold on to it. Wilson will go forward again. And he's got the opportunity, mid-range. Nice shot, beautiful. Nice action.
Beautiful.
Interesting that Bergen's gone back here for South Australia. He's been shooting pretty well himself in this one as well. 39 from 44 in the tournament thus far. That's 89%, and he's playing at both ends of the court.
Yeah, what a talent to be able to have to put yourself in at goal shooter and goalkeeper. Bodes well for the future of his game.
Nice little fake there from Norfolk as well. Showing all the tricks early on. There's a good finish there from Wilson. They're back even. 4-9 all. Strickland had to chase that one back. Obstruction called. Conheady. Just a bit stagnant here, Victoria, as Ryan's called for a footwork. I'll tell you what, that's a good recovery there from O'Meara. Conheady let that one go as we hold time. The first ball going into court 2. Hughes works with O'Meara. Conheady. Great work finish there from Nick O'Meara. He's been shooting, he's got 126 from 145 attempts, 87%.
Wilson. Saw that one coming. Ball just set up a little too high then from South Australia, allowing the time for Wilson to come out of the circle.
Ryan. Circle's edge. Brown working with him. Oh, jeez. We're going to see some shots there today. Wilson and O'Meara both had over 140 shot attempts coming into the game. Feel like there hasn't been much else going on, but Campbell Brown's also done a fair bit for Victoria as well. He's there. Him and O'Meara switching positions from time to time throughout the competition. How much is versatility in this younger sort of age bracket a key to games being played at national championships?
Well, I think it's not just the versatility in the younger group. I think it's throughout the whole competition. You see it all the way up into the Opens division that lots of the guys play all 3 mid-court positions. They play both ends of the court if you're a goaler, or if you're in a goal attack, you also play in a wing attack and centre. I mean, the versatility in the men's game is something that's hugely important, and to see the young boys be able to work their craft and work out what position best suits them. Look, it's important, and it also allows for fresh legs throughout the whole week.
Yep.
Injuries happen, and sometimes having the person that can swing at both ends, it's hugely valuable to what it is that you can put out onto the court, and I think massively important to work on your craft in one position, but not just one, in 3 or 4.
So Victoria struggling on this set of passes to try and get it down. That's a nice hold there for the space for Brown. And he finished that beautifully.
Yeah, quick offload from Conheady in centre.
They'll be out of court. So the 20s will start us off today. Massive day of action yet again here at Parkville. Great finish, Norfolk. Didn't have Norfolk down as a goal shooting opportunity. It's been done earlier today, going through the research. Trying to see if he played there earlier this week. So
yeah, he sits in goal attack, does a lot more of the feeding role, does all the work around the outside, rolls the top beautifully, but also looks to offload. Couple of goals in a quarter, couple of shots in a quarter, that's all you need to have in that special goal attack role, but he does put the ball through the ring when it's needed.
I mean, when you got a player like Cruz Wilson who's putting up enough attempts, that's all you need at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, look, lots of teams like to run with the taller goaler and the little one out the front, or the smaller goaler that's out the front, instead of a full rotating circle where the workload tends to be more shared. Playing with Fowler in the competition, in his state league team back home, will help that. Playing with the big tall, he'll be happy just to put 1 or 2 shots up a quarter. If he's feeding the rest of them off, there's nothing then to worry about. Putting the ball through the ring, that special pass is just as important.
There's Victoria working their way down. Ryan, Conheady, Brown out hunting, trying to find some opportunity. He'll get it back. That is a great give and get with Conheady, and he finished off nicely.
Yeah, just a lack of a tight defence, I think, from South Australia. Could have tightened up the space, allowing Campbell Brown just to sit at the back and jump into the post.
So we're down to 16 seconds. Gee, this quarter's flown by. As O'Callaghan works it for South Australia. South Australia throwing it away though. Golan.
Yeah, defensive switch there, just getting the best of South Australia.
And that'll take us to quarter time here on Court 1. We'll be back in just a few moments with Michael Van Dorser and Dan Cook in commentary with you.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the free Get Active.
Sally is your local netball administrator. She receives daily messages from her umpires on her phone and Facebook. Mary just messaged, and Craig, Sam and Jane. Struggling with managing umpire rosters like Sally? The Time Umpire software allows you to take control with EU.
Hi, I'm Paul, General Manager at Strapdoor. Here at Strapdoor, we're committed to providing high quality sports tapes that keep up with the demands of athletes around Australia without breaking the bank. Every roll of tape we produce meets stringent quality standards, ensuring all athletes can perform at their best with reliable support and peak flexibility. And because we believe in the value of our products, we're offering an exclusive 30% discount offer for sporting clubs. It's the perfect time to experience the difference Strapdoor can make. Follow us on our socials for the latest offers and updates. We're here to support all athletes and clubs' journeys. Join our community and elevate your game.
I think that is everyone. So a change, they're pulling Stickland off. They're now replacing him with Bevis.
Yeah, well, I was just getting to the bottom of the Victorian lineup when you, as you said, that one good pickup from all the way up here in the bird's nest on court 1. As, well, it's affectionately known anyway. As we said early, 14-11 the score, but South Australia with a shot under the ring there. Great work from Cruz Wilson to get that, to bring it back by 1.
Yeah, good start from the first quarter from Victoria. We're happy to have gone into that one leading 14-11. A little better start than their first game against South Australia earlier in the week. I think South Australia maybe just not off to the good start they got off to in the first game last week, but I'm looking forward to what the rest of this contest has to happen.
As we've just seen the ball go for a wander. They're going to try and work their way through here. Norfolk passing over the top to Wilson. And they get the turnover, do the Vicks. Ryan O'Meara. All happening outside the circle. Conady. Back to O'Meara. Good jump there from the South Australian defender. in Ward. Just put the pressure on.
Yeah, great defensive pressure from the South Australian team. It's now about how do they get the ball through the court. Victoria not running their press as they've been doing for most of the week so far.
So South Australia working their way through again.
Yeah, great ball there from Ryan. Oh, the step.
No goal. So goal wiped away. Bevis giving some nervous moments over the ball early for him since coming on at quarter time. Ryan will end up with this, or the Vicks will end up with it at least anyway. Conady will walk over and take it. O'Meara with the height advantage in the circle. Split step nicely, well found there from Conady.
Yeah, nice quick play, quick delivery then off that throw in.
Tell you what, the second phase play from the Vicks is just unbelievable. And that was a no-look pass from Brown. Oh, it's not going to go.
Oh, unlucky for South Australia.
Wilson did all the hard work, waited for it to come through, just had stepped outside.
I think Victoria needs to be a little bit nicer on the ball delivery. A couple of messy ones coming into the circle in the last few hits. Not as clean and crisp as what they probably could be, and giving South Australia a chance at the ball in the air.
As we see a quick change for South Australia. Caleb Playford back on into goal defence. So Ward off at the moment, but looking like he might take Will O'Callaghan's position in wing defence. Standing there on the sideline. As Bevis can't find a teammate. Bit of stagnant play up forward there for the Vicks. And not the greatest of balls back, just unlucky as there was a contact, or offside call in fact. Feed from Ryan. Huge to Brown.
Beautiful vision, yeah, from Ryan. Just to find Brown along the baseline. A nice, smart, quick drive through the backspace.
How did they get that one in the end for Victoria? So Callaghan works in there as that change gets made for the South Aussies. Wilson outside finding way. Callaghan. That's Reid. Talk about playing different roles. Reid O'Callaghan's been shooting as well this tournament, so can do it all mid-court and shoot. As that's a good rebound there for Norfolk. He gets that one to go. So we're starting to see some wholesale changes here for South Australia.
Kennedy with the ball across the court, just a little too much on it, sends it over the sideline. Ryan unable to pull that one in. Fantastic pressure from South Australia. Probably now about converting this turnover. 5 down currently. Sloppy play from South Australia, though, able to keep the spoil.
So it's Will O'Callaghan that's gone into the centre as well for South Australia. Ward's back on at wing defence. So we've got both O'Callaghan's working both ways. Wilson to make it 14-18 to South Australian ball as well. As working forward, Reid O'Callaghan finds Will. Step back there. Can't get it to go. Takes the front iron there if there's Norfolk. It was a free shot, so we'll get another opportunity. Finishes that one. They're going on little runs here, South Australia, drawing level. And then the Vicks just seem to find a couple of runs themselves.
Yeah, it's not been a steady quarter from either side so far, but Look, I feel like South Australia really have brought themselves back into the game. I feel like their intensity's come up since the start of this quarter, and look, Victoria really struggling in a footwork call on Brown.
I mean, when you're falling like that, there's not much you can do. So they're working forward. O'Callaghan again. Will finding Reid and back to Will. Might as well just go with the names. The first name's the way it's going.
Yeah. So it's a mouthful as well to get O'Callaghan out.
There's two O'Callaghans and O'Meara. All the O's in this one. So that one's not the greatest of feeds through. Speaking of O'Meara, the long ball from Vic seems to be working, just opening up as Conity gets called for footwork. Bergen working in with Will O'Callaghan. Now Reid gets involved. Caught at the back there was Wilson. He's only able to tip it down to Norfolk and he's able to finish.
Yeah, I like the belief in Norfolk just to kind of sometimes cruise into the circle when it's needed, not really actually crowding the space, allowing for that ball to come in so that if anything does spill over, he's there to pick up the pieces, which is what's happened a couple of times today.
Sort of your small forward role in footy.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with the other goal shooter. You know, control the middle of the circle, sit on the outside, run through the front if needed, run through the back if required, and
Norfolk gets absolutely shoved in the back in that one.
they're not scared of getting involved with the body, not necessarily the biggest in stature, but smart enough to put himself in the right space at the right time so that the defender that doesn't actually get to come through.
So back within a goal here. South Australia done a really good job. Possession going Ryan's way. Conity picks up a contact call.
Stationary from Victoria.
Just set themselves and didn't want to move.
Yep.
The only one that was moving was Ryan outside the circle, and that was even stagnant. Oh, that's been picked out nicely by Wilson. Really gets the Vicks up and going. Ryan, quick ball through. Bergen gets tangled up. As Beverstones takes a seat for Victoria. Short pass.
Yeah, umpire not thinking there's enough room for a player to move between the hands on that one. It's probably the wrong angle for us to have a look at that one from up here.
Stickland back on in that goal defence, as we mentioned. As Rogers gets, Hughes gets called for an aggressive contact. And the penalty gets advanced and takes full advantage. There does Wilson.
Canadian, beautiful drive down and looks across the court, finds Ryan. Victoria, nice set play on this one to score. Margin is now at 2, just 5 minutes to go in this quarter.
Brought it back nicely. It was 3 at quarter time.
Yeah, both teams now just really looking to play into a flow state. Midway through the term, disappointed with that error, I think.
Yeah, that was just a simple one that didn't wait for the play to unfold. Just on court 2 below us, it's 35-13, Western Australia over Tasmania in that one. Western Australia look the goods in the 20 and under division.
They do. Oh, beautiful work there from South Australia to keep that one in the circle and play. Norfolk puts it away. Draws them back to even.
I was going to say we're back level, 20 all. It's coming out hunting there was Wilson. And luckily they gets a footwork call. Well, South Australia get the footwork call against them.
Yeah, umpire saw that as an advantage. The ball went on into the circle. I kind of have to agree with it. When that happens, you go shoot all by yourself. So, Look, unfortunate for South Australia that that's what happened. But I think actually a really good call from the umpire to allow for the option for that ball with the goal shooter inside the circle to go on by itself.
Tell you what, O'Meara's liking the 4 balls here at Parkfield Court 1. Hit a few of them. There's Brown. Steadies and gets that to go. So Victoria score against the centre pass as time's being called. We're going to clean that goal circle. It's going to be a Vic ball to start us off. As we clean up Brown's mess. Or Mira's mess on the floor. So this 20 unders, yeah, the three sides we've probably got out of the four are probably looking at final sort of campaigns, aren't we?
Yeah.
In the two courts in front of us.
I think New South Wales as well, they're out the back at the moment. They ran with Victoria real well yesterday as well in the game. Only lost to SA by a little bit as well. Probably a similar game style as that they were doing. I think New South Wales could pop up and just provide some issues for any of the teams there. You know, they just need to be able to put the ball through the ring, and they've got a real good structure. They look quite structured yesterday, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pop up as well.
Yep. This ball, great work, Conity. That was a great contest between him and Willow Callaghan. Vic's on transition though. Work their way through, and Brown from mid-range.
It's a pretty shot.
I was going to say, almost super shot range that was.
The confidence.
Oh, that is one thing that these boys do not lack, is confidence. I mean, you look at the shoes, for goodness sake, of Caleb Playford for one. And is it Tyler Ward for two? Like, seriously. They've got some flashy boots. How the smallest bloke in the goal circle got that rebound, I will never know. But well done, Ryan Norfolk. It's Victoria out by one. And on their centre pass. There's an offside call, or breaking call. You're right, though, it is a very stagnant goal circle at the moment for Victoria.
Yeah, making the people, the two boys on the outside of the circle do the work to help get them in. Look, if they can find their structure and set the screen up effectively, it works nicely, but I think it's just a little too stagnant for me.
Yep. It's working at the moment, but we'll see how that keeps going. 21-23 as South Australia go forward. Again, O'Callaghan, the Reed variety.
Oh, beautiful offload there from Ryan Norfolk. It's a smart play. Have the tall defender jump, just flick the ball off to the shooter.
Victoria will start again. Ryan works her way through. Good work there. Good feed into Brown. And again, Brown getting up nice and high.
Yeah, Canadian with the quick release. He's done a few of those there that have left South Australia a little bit lacking early. Or Stickland.
Oh. Got to watch that little decal on the floor. It's been a bit slippery over the first few days. Till the rubber goes down on it.
That's right.
So we're back with the one goal with about 45 seconds left to play. Conity, good feed through Brown. Ryan, circle edge, touch through. Well done there by Playford. As we hold time. Is it out of play?
Yeah, throwing call.
Time restarts. Conity can't reel this one in. And there's going to be a contact going which way? Against Hughes, South Australia. Get this, 25 seconds to go to draw level South Australia. Can they find a way through? And there's that slipping part of the floor again. Wilson doesn't look good. As we're going to hold time. He went down, did not look good at all. So primary carrier from South Australia is going to come on the floor. Some good sportsmanship shown by Kane Wilson. I think if you just don't get your footing right on this
groin or
decal, yeah, I think it is groin muscle. If you don't get this right, it does slip a fair bit. As we're going to see a few changes here for South Australia.
Seems to be a constant thing that's happened throughout the week, though. I don't.
As Wilson gets a polite round of applause from all in attendance. It's half time on court 2, so even the WA players, fans are giving them a round of applause. As we've seen a couple of changes in this at the moment. So Callahan that's gone into goal shooter. I'm assuming that's Reed. And that is Norfolk scoring to go 24 all. It's going to be South Australia's ball, and they'll get that after half time here. 24 all, 10-13 in that quarter to the South Aussies. As Wilson is getting attended to on the masseuse table. We'll be back in just a few moments with second half action live from...
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download app today.
Sally is your local netball administrator. She receives daily messages from her umpires on her phone and Facebook. Mary just messaged, and Craig, Sam and Jane. Struggling with managing umpire rosters like Sally? The Time Umpire software allows you to .com.au.
Welcome to TLC Health Clubs. With gym equipment of the highest quality, exhilarating workouts and world-class coaching, we'll help you reach your fitness goals. There's also a pool and sauna for whenever you want to dive in or sweat it out. Join today and live your best life with TLC.
As we welcome you back to Court 1 here at State Netball Hockey Centre in Melbourne. There's Parkville. It is South Australia versus Victoria, and it is 24-all. South Australia winning the second quarter by 13-10. Michael Van Dorsen, Dan Cookie Cook We're just original, aren't we, Australia? Where we just put a Y on the end of it or an O.
Yeah, I got a family of cookies in there, so I like to change that up as an EY for me and an IE for the rest of my family so that we know which one is which. But
as O'Callaghan on at goal shooter gets his first goal, and they go to 25-24 early days. Is it chocolate chip? M&M's? What type of cookie are we?
White chocolate macadamia.
We'll go with that.
Let's go with something a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, a little bit of a twist on what it is. I don't want to be the standard cookie that there is.
Nah, that's fair enough. Stand out from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, just a little bit different.
Nah, it's been a fascinating game, this one, between the two sides. We've seen some ripping netball being played from both areas, and trying to find a way through here. The South Aussies and the Victorians have picked the pocket, literally. What have you thought in regards to it?
Yeah, look, I'm impressed by what it is that's going on from both teams, really. It is neck and neck throughout there. I think South Australia had the better of that quarter. Just seemed to be on it, unfortunately. It looked like the goal shooter did go over with a little bit of a groin injury, but look, I'm just excited for what this second half actually has to offer. One change, it looks like, for Victoria as Canadians replaced by Holhouse in the centre bib, but look, I think both teams are after the win today. Really, this might be the battle for second spot on the ladder, and you'd like to go into finals with that little bit extra safety net with New South Wales pushing at you.
So it is the change. As you said, Holhouse is on its centre. It hasn't been updated on our tablet as yet, so... But definitely it does have Holhouse is out there with his shirt. As we'll hold time for a minute as the ball from court 2 joins us on our court. Holhouse works in with Brown. 27-26. So Victoria scoring against the centre pass. Good hands there from Bergen. They've been able to secure it, South Australia. Norfolk cross court. Some good play through here. O'Callaghan. It's Reid. They work back. Circle's edge. Norfolk didn't like what he saw. Will O'Callaghan finds Reid. Tapped on the way down. Thought he got rid of it.
Declan just short on the distance. A little bit of a creep in, I think. They're just allowing for South Australia to score the goal. Now brings it back to even.
So back to 27 all. He's working on Circle's edge of the South Aussies. Holhouse runs offside. O'Callaghan. Overshoots. It's going to be a Victoria ball. Very messy out of defence at the moment. Double screened on Stickland, which saw Hughes get free. As that one goes through Ryan's hands, very uncharacteristically.
Yeah, South Australia's defensive pressure just
a lot. As Wilson gets another touch on the bench.
Yeah, South Australia's defensive pressure jumped up a notch in the last quarter. It looks like they're continuing on now. Like to see Norfolk get into the circle a little faster sometimes when he's just done the feed on the outside. I think especially now that O'Callaghan's moved into shooters just a little shorter, as well as not that quick ball that is the release that was into Wilson we saw earlier. So just to do a little bit more of the work to draw the two defenders that are off now, sitting back into the goal circle.
So for South Australia take the lead again, 28-27. Holhouse will restart in the pocket. Good hands there from Gulen. And he's away. Hughes didn't react quick enough. They're working their way through. Ward in wing defence at the transverse line helping out. O'Callaghan.
A beautiful spin from Norfolk there to get in the front. And pretty little flick.
So South Australia out by 2 now. Almost too tricky for his own good a little bit there, Norfolk. As we're going to see a bit of a change for Vicks there in the goal shooting end. Stickland again. And it's going to work for O'Callaghan. So I think Mira's was in goal.
Yeah, has gone back to goal shooter now, come off. And Canadi's returned to the court at goal shooter.
And he gets it to go.
Yeah, interesting change though as well, looking like O'Meara coming off from shooter, looking to go back. Oh, Wilson saw it, but O'Meara to come on at goalkeeper.
I actually think it's Brown that's going back because O'Meara went out to goal attack.
So O'Meara's, they did a switch, so Brown's out at goal attack now.
Yep, righto.
I don't think our thing hasn't been updating.
We'll get that working
shortly. Norfolk puts it in for South Australia. They've taken the margin out to 3.
They've just been comfortable this quarter, haven't they? Oh, it's flicking back. The play off the ball has been half the fun with some of this play as well. But South Australia again really trying to consolidate this 3-goal lead.
Just want to make a comment on the smarts of Ryan Norfolk. He's just scored the goal, but all of that happened sat in the middle of the court. That ball came, flicked back in, grabbed it, looked towards the umpire to make sure there was no call, and then made the whole play happen. Super smart netball from the youngster.
As we're going to see, a few changes, complete back-end change for Victoria. As you said, O'Meara comes back on into goal keep. Stickland goes to the bench. Wilson out to goal defence. Well, I'm looking at it anyway. And then wing defence has come on as well.
Is
Gallard in at wing defence. So, not surprisingly, the Vic bench absolutely making wholesale changes at the moment. Trying to find something to get this team up and going. But that's a good finish there from Brown. Vicks finally get one back. 4 goals the margin. Norfolk. O'Callaghan. That's Will. Norfolk. Possession. No, O'Meara's contacted. Or is it Wilson that's got the contact? O'Callaghan. Get the margin out to 5, believe it or not, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Victoria will not be happy with the start of this quarter, and Canady loses possession.
Out here, they normally swap the balls to see if it's been going through hands like that.
Look, and it's still hot in Victoria at the moment, 26 degrees today, really different for April weather. The stadium was warm yesterday, even though it was a little bit cool. I think it kept the heat from the weekend as well, so and my hands are feeling it.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm up here in the stands, so.
Well, they do say hot air rises, so that's probably why we're feeling it at the moment. There's 6-goal margin now for South Australia. They're just cleaner with the ball at the moment, I think, too.
Yeah, patient on the outside of the circle. Not feeling as much pressure.
And O'Callaghan with another one. This is very quickly getting away from the Vicks at the moment. And an off-the-shoulder pass there from Ryan. The front 4 pretty much for Victoria aren't really connecting at this point.
Yeah, I think the drives have started to go slightly sideways and parallel to each other. There's no one coming out or forward to the ball with some angle, so it makes it easy to find the pass on the next ball. And I think that's really causing some issues for Victoria. Everything's going sideways. Oh, Wilson gets the steal back. But yeah, Victoria now finding it hard. You can see the ball's moving sideways, but no one's driving to the ball with some angle, which makes it easier for you to pass it on. It also allows for a little bit of error or room for error. That ball doesn't have to be so slick and so delivered in the right space.
So taking a bit of pace off the ball here. Victoria trying to get it into the goal circle, which they've been able to do. Brown from range gets a steadier. 6 goals only in 10 minutes of netball for Victoria, as opposed to 12 for South Australia this quarter.
Beautiful
as left
vision.
alone is O'Callaghan. So make that 13-6 in a quarter, in 2/3 of a quarter of netball. So starting off their way back here, Victoria, but they're starting to be a couple of connections. Maybe they're just taking the pace off the passes a little bit to probably help them out a little bit. O'Callaghan comes out to get that contact call on Hell House.
No, Amira.
Oh, Amira was, yep. We could pick both of them. Either way, there was a fair amount there.
Smart flick from Ryan Norfolk. That's just clever netball.
Probably in the right spot for himself to have a shot, but knows the role.
But you touched on it earlier, maybe not the volume, but I think the work ethic and just the smarts to have the safer shot go up in the circle. Another turnover here for Victoria, offside the call.
Oh, as Whole House almost takes out the umpire. Working their way through. Gulen. This combination on court for South Australia is working really well at the moment. As that's advantage been paid.
Yeah.
Victoria with the turnover themselves.
Beautiful
Even
work.
these tips from South Australia are finding players.
Yeah. Just South Australia appear to be in the right space at the right time. Now, I think Victoria not running onto the ball, not doing the prelim work, I guess, to lose the player, and really struggling with bringing the ball through the court.
And this is going to cause some mental concerns, I think, at this 20 and under age group. They went down by 2 on day one. Well, South Australia won by 2 on day one. They're up by 8 midway through. Well, with 2 minutes to go, is a step back from Norfolk. Easy as you like.
Claps their hands together, he's pumped.
Again, Collard got that one as we hold time. We're going to see a floor being wiped.
Yeah, Will O'Callaghan just came off second best, did all the work in taking the ball, but not able to get to the ball first when it's out in the air.
Norfolk, 16 goals this game at the moment. Reed O'Callaghan since coming into goal shooter with 11. But this shows you the dominance, doesn't it? He only came in the last 30 seconds of the first half. And he's just been a focal point up there. Cruz Wilson with 13. As Victoria get another one. Campbell Brown, 19. O'Meara, who's now playing goalkeeper at 11. Oh, as O'Meara almost came up with a big rejection there.
Yeah. I think the concern for Victoria now is really what is it that they do to stop the movement that South Australia has through the goal third.
Yep.
How do you get in the way of Norfolk? And I think Golan's been a good introduction into wing attack as well. He just sits out, finds space at the top of the circle, and has really opened up the space inside the goal circle as well for South Australia.
As Bergen had a good play on that one, he couldn't get it though. 33-41, 41 South Australia. Over the top with Anna Callahan in the circle. Was the first play. And again, Norfolk with the little pass. Umpire's obviously deeming that it's giving the defender enough opportunity.
It's just smart. I think there's enough space there, and I think that's the problem. You know, we've seen it probably, that's about the 6th or 7th one, I reckon, just solely in this quarter that have gone into that space, and I think that's got to be the keeper sitting in the front space of the goal shooter, making sure that that's not there, get in the way between the goal attack and the goal shooter, and don't let them have that connection, especially if you're the biggest player in the circle, which, you know, at the moment O'Meara is. make the ball go up and over you instead of letting them have that little flick pass into the front, because that's where South Australia are getting the roll on.
So, opportunity for goal didn't go for Carmody. South Australia's quick ball movement working nicely. As Norfolk finds himself in some space, baseline. And again with a very good shot. And the South Australian crowd's very happy. The 3 or 4 with the pom-poms sitting in the crowd behind the bench. Even the West Aussies are cheering on the South Australians. There's a nice cut there from Norfolk. He can't get it. As contact call. So Callahan's called for it. Ryan flicks it on. Bergen read it like a book. There'll be no score for half time as Bergen and Ward celebrate with each other, give each other a fair rev up. And it's a 10-goal difference as we turn for home. South Australians are on fire. Look at them. Quite literally. Like their jerseys are fire, aren't they?
Yeah.
As we might take a break. Hang on.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Victoria app today.
Sally is your local netball administrator. She receives daily messages from her umpires on her phone and Facebook. Mary just messaged, and Craig, Sam and Jane. Struggling with managing umpire rosters like Sally? The Time Umpire software allows you to take control with ease. Check out timeumpire.com.au.
Hi, I'm Paul, General Manager at Strapdoor. Here at Strapdoor, we're committed to providing high-quality sports tapes that keep up with the demands of athletes around Australia without breaking the bank. Every roll of tape we produce meets stringent quality standards, ensuring all athletes can perform at their best with reliable support and peak flexibility. And because we believe in the value of our products, we're offering an exclusive 30% discount offer for sporting clubs. It's the perfect time to experience the difference Strapdoor can make. Follow us on our socials for the latest offers and updates. We're here to support all athletes and clubs' journeys. Join our community and elevate your game.
Welcome back to Court 1 action here at Parkville, and it's South Australia absolutely dominating the premiership quarter with a 19-goal to 9 third term. They lead by 10 over Victoria in this 20 and under competition in the AMNA Championships for 2025. Michael Van Dorsa, Dan Cookie Cook with you in commentary as we are back underway. And Cookie, this is... I don't know what. I honestly don't know what to say in regards to that. South Australia were sublime.
Yeah, they were. I feel like they had momentum going through the second quarter and just continued with it in the third. And Victoria, unfortunately, fell to pieces, got a little bit stationary, unable to find the drives around in the front end. And South Australia just capitalised every time they went through the court. Slow, steady, ball into the circle, easy option, smart netball, and it worked. Touch there from Wilson to send the ball out over the sideline.
So we've had a couple of changes through the court thus far. Amir is back on at goal shooter and Brown at goal attack still. So Amir is just staying up one end of the court effectively, isn't he? In regards to it. Holhouse has gone into wing attack from centre. Where we got
Canadi's
gone back to
centre.
Gone to centre. So that's where he started.
A running goal shooter, now back into centre.
As he keeps that one in, it's going to work out for him. Brown was able to work this there. Whole house. Stretches well. O'Meara gets that back to goal. Gallard, Wilson and Bevis are the defenders for Victoria. Wonder if Stickland's hurt himself on there as well, because he saw him come off and he absolutely just ripped his bib off. He was very frustrated with it.
He did have ice on the shoulder earlier in the match as well, so I wonder whether there's something going on there. I thought he did the best work on Norfolk as well, but it's also, with the margin out to this length, do you now go, okay, well, I'm going to let this one go a little bit, not try and bring it in. I'll test a couple of combinations and see what works for me, because I think Stickland did the best work on Norfolk, and I think he just tore them up in the last quarter. Yeah,
no, for sure. Norfolk's definitely been best on from mine. Between Norfolk and O'Callaghan, there's no change, unsurprisingly, for South Australia. They've got their lineup still the same, with Reid O'Callaghan in goal shooter and Norfolk in goal attack. Messy play to start off this final quarter, but it's back to 9 goals the margin. Vic 3-2 in the quarter, as we're going to see a floor wipe again.
Oh, beautiful pass, smart option there from Norfolk. Draws the penalty as well on Wilson in the circle.
As they're able to get that to go, Norfolk, the smallest man in there. It's going to be... going to check with... It's a Victoria ball. As all 3 umpires confirm which way it's going. Conady. I must admit, Conady in centre probably made Victoria a little bit more stable there.
Yeah, I agree. I think just a little steadier. I think Ryan just lost the drives in the middle town. I think that also came with the connection. Giving Whole House a little bit of something different to look at. The drive from centre and the drive from wing attack as well is slightly different. Always usually with centre coming down with the ball, whereas in wing attack you get to look up at it and drive up through it. So, this change from, I think Craig will be looking to get something different out of the mid-court in this quarter.
So, Vic with the opportunity, another slip. You're not ready to...
My head is shaking.
You don't want to give this one up. We appreciate what the sponsors have done, and Straptor Genuine Sports Tape, but the decal on the floor is not helping anyone. Oh, the desperation there from Wilson, as we'll wipe the floor again.
Yeah, you can see the desperation for the ball, unfortunately, just diving on it, not within the rules of the sport. So you can see the desperation in the Victorian defenders. They're really looking at ways they can get the ball, create the turnovers, but...
Is Gallard in the wrong spot here, just on Circle's edge there?
I think it's hard to work out what the right spot is to be. If you're sitting there, realistically he's bull side.
Yep.
Kind of, it makes it difficult for the ball to get there. I don't mind the setup. The possibility of the centre on the other side to sit in front, the ball swings around and you've got a turnover or someone from the inside of the circle to come up. Okay. You're sitting on the outside of the circle. Yep. It's always difficult to be in the right spot. That part of the game is not made for a defender.
This ball goes over, but they're going to have to redo it again. I think it's better Wilson goes to O'Callaghan there in that situation. As Wilson's awake to the flick over the back there too. There's a contact call.
Yeah, I think it's more the work rate on the outside of the circle instead of the spacing in which you're sitting in. It's the ability to get around and confuse the space instead of just sitting in behind and letting one person maybe just take it all, giving them the easy option. And I think that's maybe where the change could come and not necessarily the starting space. So
South Australia get it back to 10. Flick over the top, Wilson. Commentary side, Conity doesn't have anywhere to go. As we're going to see a contact call in the front of the goal third. Whole house. Tried to find a pass in there to Brown, but Brown was fortunate not to, even though he didn't take it, the obstruction occurred. He'll get this, have an opportunity and score. The polite round of applause comes from the Victorian faithful. It's out of play called. Good work there by Wilson in goal defence. So we'll have a look forward to see what is happening there. Gurlin and O'Callaghan get in the same space, but works out okay. It's going to be taken back. Norfolk just been absolutely dominant in his goal attack position.
Yeah, I think Allen now on into goal shooter for Victoria.
This might be where they're changing a few things up to see what they can make of it. Was Conity with a great take. Passed over to Wholehouse, but penalty occurred in the circle. No goal there for Brown.
Yeah, South Australia just nice and steady, looking to bring the ball through the court. South Australia now easily through, and Norfolk just taking the drive, pulling the penalty inside the circle.
He's done that on numerous occasions today too, like that penalty just inside.
Yeah, I think it just shows how clever he actually is, because it's not about the work that you're doing. You're just getting yourself into a space to draw the penalty. It moves the ball inside, and then it opens up the one-on-ones for the goal shooter in front of him as well. And he's just done that so well. It means an easy option inside the circle. And Victoria probably need to look at, if they're playing South Australia for the rest of the week, cleaning that up, getting off his body even if he's coming through, or blocking him first.
Noah Hartney in at goalkeeper as well for Victoria. Bevis takes a seat. Some heavy strapping on Bevis as well, so he's probably needs to make sure he takes that easy. As Victoria get the defensive penalty, but just very stagnant in mid-court. The defensive structure for South Australia is holding reasonably firm. As Brown working. Allen comes out to get this one. You can see a change with South Australia too in the goal keep, and look at them get there around him as well. Playford's in a goal defence. Pennell is in at goal keep.
Another touch, and he gets the touch. It comes in off the court for Wholehouse, so gets the turnover.
This South Australian crowd absolutely loving it. There's Gullard, couldn't quite get there in time. Callahan, Gullen. That probably looked a lot worse than it actually did, as that'll go. Victorian ball. Out to 12 goals the difference. And that's going to be a South Australia ball too. Nothing going right at all for the Vics. We'll see another change for Victoria goal defence when they get the opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is the way that, what do I look at doing and maybe stop what it is that Ryan Norfolk is doing. Hughes played wing defence and centre majority for the rest of the week, but I can understand the move from Craig Moore, getting the shorter, speedier work rate defender out in front and really stopping the drive from Ryan Norfolk.
So South Australia with another one, 52-38 by my count. Well, it might be 51. They might have got the goal on the board before already. They do. Norfolk's up to 23 for the game. The Callahan, 16, effectively after half time.
Yeah, look, South Australia have poured on the goals since it being even, and Wholehouse just in through the back of the centre. O'Callaghan in the right space there in Whole House. Just needed to look at changing direction a little bit earlier instead of kind of bulldozing his way through. So
changes are plenty, as you can hear. It's another one for South Australia. Heath is on at wing attack for Gullen. Hughes. Going to be a South Australia ball. So we're going to see Ryan back on at wing attack for Whole House.
Well, Hughes does the work inside the circle, puts Norfolk off. As we see Ryan return to the court as well in wing attack for Whole House.
So Gallard will take it centre third. Ryan. Allen goes through his hands, but he's able to get this one back. That was a nice cut back.
Well done there from Allen to just take the drive in the back space underneath the post.
As Western Australia have defeated Tassie by 83-26 in that game on court 2. This one here, 52-39. Finishing a bit later, we've had a few stoppages. As that is a good goal there for Norfolk. Well held. Just that step back. It's a real basketball sort of shot, isn't it? That he's got.
I think that's a netball smart brain shot. It's kind of it's not necessarily a rock back, but it's a step back onto 1 foot. Clear yourself from the space. It's something that a young goaler, I guess, gets taught really young. As to how do you clear the space, because he's going to be sitting at I think it's 170 centimetres, and then the defensive circle for most of this match is sitting in the 190s. You've got to find a way to get that ball up and over, and the best way to do it is to clear your space. And he doesn't kind of sit back or rock back. He just kind of sits there nice and steady on the 1 foot and still has his balance, and it's impressively smart from such a young guy. Yeah.
Well, the shot in particular as well.
Oh, yeah, the shot. It is very basketball.
He's got that
style.
The hand, the guiding hand there as well, which you don't often see it in the netball side of things. But yes, love the step back. As we see him go again, rare miss for him. And there's going to be a contact call, funnily enough, outside the circle. Gullen, I think it's Gullen. No, Heath. That was that change that I didn't get down. You got down. Heath was working hard. Ryan trying to go through, saw something, but there was hands in the way.
Yeah, Ward, great hands over pressure. Gullen returns to the court in centre for South Australia. So giving O'Callaghan now the rest.
Yeah, all of 58 minutes played. You might as well take 2 minutes off.
Oh, that ball. No look pass there, draws the penalty.
Out to 15 goals, and they got the centre pass to make it 16. This second half has been domination from South Australia.
Yeah, it really has. Victoria haven't really had an answer for anything that they've put out on court. South Australia are now just able to keep the feet.
Every tip's going their way. So we enter the final minute of play. It's a South Australia ball. Not sure what actually happened in that respect.
I missed that one as well.
We need the umpires mic'd up on court 1. Reckon we can do that for later in the tournament?
I hope so.
That'd be great. Exclusively for us. There's a bit of a no-looker from Norfolk. Conity ends up with it. Victoria trying to work their way through. Conity again. Ryan, can they get it into the circle? They can. Bit of work there with Allen. Allen to have a shot. Doesn't go. Pretty much sums up the morning for Victoria. Tell you what, almost getting that was Panel. And that was a nice finish from Brown. So it withdraws the margin for a little bit. They're going to try and get it in. Can they get the opportunity? There's a contact. They'll get an opportunity for a shot after the final siren. South Australia finished at 55. Victoria finished with 42. 13-goal margin. I did not expect that coming into this game.
Yeah, I did not expect that one. I thought it was going to be close. Victoria had a great start to the match as well. And look, South Australia, just that second half, ran away with really the spoils. And I think what left me a little bit in shock as to what happened. Victoria just weren't able to curb the momentum that I think South Australia had moving into the end of the second quarter. And South Australia just ran away with it, and they looked a better team.
31-18 in that second half as well.
Yeah,
just on goals alone, but it was also the play that was happening all the way through it, wasn't it?
Correct. It was, and I think, look, there's lots for Craig Moore, the coach of Victoria, to really think about. Look, he's been around for a long time. He's a clever coach, but there's a lot of things that I think maybe a little more concerning. Could see by some of his reactions to things that were happening from the bench. So I'm expecting him to go away and do a little bit more homework and work out what the next steps are, because South Australia are a danger to them for winning a championship.
I love this. They've gone over to celebrate or give 3 cheers with Cruz Wilson, who's been on the bench pretty much ever since he hurt himself late in that second quarter. I think the sportsmanship's amazing to be able to do that. So congratulations to both sides. It's been an absolute wonderful to be here. Cookie, a pleasure doing it with you.
It was a pleasure being here with you as well.
I'm sure that we'll be catching up with each other later in the tournament. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, later on from Parkville. It's the AMNA Championships. That was the 20 and unders live from Parkville. Stay around. We've got more action coming up later on.